Welcome back, Tito Ortiz, the Huntington Beach bad boy to MMAOddsBreaker. Of course, we had him on before. Big fight for you this weekend. You're
Huge.
40. You're 40 years old, man. This is not
40 years young.
not.
You can be 40 years old. I'm 40 years young. I
This is.
feel good, man.
Do you?
Camp went really, really well. It was one of the hardest camps I've been through. Gosh, I mean, this goes back 10 years probably, man. I
Now,
had some guys pushing me.
I talked to Kendall Grove, who's in your training camp. You brought him in to help you get ready for Liam. Same body type, kind of length, and same kind of styles. He in the middle of it got a fight too. So he goes from being a training partner to also training. Did he have to back off at all or do things differently because he's getting ready for an opponent as well as you're trying to get ready, or is it the same goes all the time?
No, I think this is kind of like doing the Ultimate Fighter when he did it. We pushed him. We're pushing each other. When it comes to the stadium runs, to the runs, the lifts. Have a strength and conditioning guy, Paul Lacanino, who's from Florida. He's been with me since 2003, since the first Shamrock fight when I blew my ACL. He was a strength and conditioning guy. So he's been with me through both my new knee surgeries, my back surgery, both my neck surgeries. So he knows my body like nobody else. Paul has done a great job up to this point. So I flew him out here 3 weeks ago, and he stayed out with me for 3 weeks, and they used to call it Hell Week. It was hell 3 weeks. I was already in shape that I thought I was, but ended up being in shape for 6 rounds now instead of the 5 I was expecting.
How's your body reacting? Because we talked about it earlier. We're getting older. Things aren't clicking the way they used to. So you have to do a lot more recovery stuff. And so obviously being a strength and conditioning guy, and it's very important. How's your body reacted though? I mean, there's got to be days where you're like, Christ, guys, like I'm so sore I can't move. Let's take a half day today.
Well, actually, I found this thing that I've used prior after my surgeries, CBAC. It's an altitude simulation machine at Ascent in Irvine.
Okay.
And it takes me to 25,000 feet and drops me down. So what it does is reproduce the red blood cells in my body and taking all the lactic acid out of my muscles. That and cryotherapy, I was doubling up on that too. So I was doing both of those. It helped. It helped. At 40, I'm able to push myself each and every training. We're doing 6-minute rounds, new guy every 3 minutes. Just being in shape for that, for wrestling, for jiu-jitsu, and for sparring like that. I don't know. I think I'm happy. That's why, man. Everything at home is right. I have nothing to worry about.
I was going to ask because, I say the middle of training camp, but actually just a couple weeks ago, the boys went back to school. So, now all of a sudden you have, hey, they got to be up, get ready, lunch is packed, dressed, brush teeth, breakfast done, and off to school. Then you got to go to training camp. Then
half that's already done. The boys brush their own teeth. They dress themselves now.
Yeah, they're old enough.
They're at that age, so they can do it themselves. It's like, but they still dress exactly the same. It's funny. They pick exactly the same outfits with each other, being twins. You think they'd pick something different. But actually, Amber Nicole Miller, I've been with her now for 2 years.
Yeah.
And she's my best friend, a partner. She's like their mother, man. She is there, hands down, every second of everything. Every time I need help, if I need to sleep in because I'm sore, if I'm tired, she wakes up a little earlier for the boys. She stepped up, man. I'm so thankful. And I'm just like, as we were talking a little bit earlier, I found a woman who is my best friend. I don't have to go around, chasing around looking for new girls. I don't care about that, man. It's about someone who's going to be my partner, who's going to take care of my kids with me, who's going to be my partner. Not just the fact I'm going to go out and hire nannies, because that's not right. People who have nannies is, maybe once in a while, yeah, you have 5 kids and you're by yourself. Yes, there's a possibility. But if you have a partner who's helping you with the children, you guys both can do it. That's something that makes it more family oriented for the children, and that's what we're doing. Amber's helped me with this, and I'm very, very thankful. Their mother hasn't been around in over 2.5 years, so I had to find that replacement, that love that they're going to be missing, and they're not going to miss it because they have it, and I'm very, very thankful because of this.
That actually is my next question. Is Jenna still trying to come back around at all? Because I knew for a while she was non-cognito, and she's still out.
She's been MIA for 2.5 years.
Other than social media every now and again popping up and yelling at you. Other than that, she doesn't really do anything. Legally, she's not calling and trying to visit. She's not sending gifts. She's not trying to, no birthdays, no Christmases, no Thanksgivings, nothing.
Zero.
Man.
Zero. It's like, but it's crazy because I sit there and every once in a while I'll look on social media and what's being said and all of her fans, and she has them all brainwashed that, she tries to see the kids. No, she doesn't do anything. Zero. follow the court orders, and these things can be worked out where she can't see the kids. And I got to do my job as a father and protect my children, and that's what I'm going to do. And what the court orders, what the court ordered, and until then, I'm holding my breath, and I'd probably be dead by now because it's already 2.5 years later, and nothing's been fulfilled to one step at all. But, I hope she gets help. I know she's in England right now doing this Big Brother thing, which is just nonsense. Hopefully she makes a bunch of money so she actually take care of herself, man. And it sucks, man.
It's sucks. Weird because she puts you through the ringer, man. Like, I mean, she was trying to tear your life apart. And you and I know, we talked about it. Like,
she tore my life apart, bro.
Dude. And you have always been, I just want her to get help. I just want her to take care. Like, you've never... Now, you might have to Amber said some negative things about her, but you've never publicly said anything negative that I can recall about Jenna or to me privately.
I really don't feel that's the way to do things the right way. She's the mother of my children. At a point, I did love her. I try to help her. I try to help her over 7 years. I try to help. I try to save a person. You can't save somebody who doesn't want to be saved, and I try to do that. And it was ruining me as a person. It was ruining my kids.
Yeah.
It was ruined my name, period. I just couldn't get sponsors anymore. People are telling me I was a woman beater. I mean, just lies after lies. Believing this woman, that was just nonsense. I had to take a step for my children's future, and I took a step away, and my life has been going up ever since. Everything has been great. I realized what a normal relationship's about. I realized what a normal life's about. And training again, it's like, wow, I like this. I like the train.
You got a little swagger. You got a little swagger back. Yeah.
My trainer came out and he's like, Tito, man, there's so many times that I would sit there and tell you, it was like I had to bite my tongue and not say anything. We would build you up so much for camp. Is like when you would go home, you get torn back down again. The next day it's build you back up again. And camps, you're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And people, a lot of my fans, they've seen it prior to a fight, a week before the fight, a month before the fight, something crazy that would happen online, something on through the paparazzi that she would do crazy just for attention because she wasn't getting it or I was getting too much. It was shameful, very, very shameful. And I can't really sit there and say anything bad about her because she has a problem and she needs to get out of the denial part of it for her future, I think. But now I sit back and I realize what a true relationship is supposed to be about, what a true family's like. This is what I've always wanted for my kids, and seeing them happy. I mean, I just got off the phone with Amber, and she texted me a picture, and it kind of put a tear to my eye, and it had a picture of Jesse and a picture of Amber next to it, and it says, I love you so much. You take such great care of me. You're the best mom. And for him to say that, it was just, it almost made me cry. I was like, but he doesn't understand that he knows he has two moms. He goes, my other mom lives in Las Vegas, and that's what he knows. And that's it. That's all he knows, that part. But to him, Amber is his mom, and I love that feeling because my kids have that. They don't have that missing love feeling, as I had that missing love feeling with my father. My father wasn't there, and I still had that missing love. But I had a love feeling because it was up till I was 13 that he was around. But after that, he never was a no-show. He never showed up. But at a young age, I know children, when I went to child development, that kids, they learn their love feeling from the age of 4 to 7 years old. That's when the true love of knowing what a mother and a father is there for. They have that love, and they have that right now, and it's great. And I think she's doing an amazing job. I'm doing the best job that I can do. And I know a lot of people praise me saying I'm doing a great job, but these kids weren't asked to be brought in this world, and I'm trying to do the best possibly can be.
How much different would your career have been if this was, say, 10 years ago that all this came together? That you and Amber met. Now, mind you, 10 years ago, you and Amber wouldn't have worked. Different mentalities, different personalities. But subtract 10 years and go, what would your career be like, man?
I don't know. I wouldn't take any of it back, man. It made me the man I am today. I'm proud of the person I am today because I went through hell. I literally went through hell to be where I am today. And it made me such a strong person, such a strong individual. And if anybody's have ever watched my career over the last 8 years and they've seen the stuff that I've gone through and just sit there and go, wow, he's still fighting, and he's fighting for a world title now. He went 2-0 last year, and he's positive, and his mind's in the right place, and he's not crazy doing stupid stuff, and he has his main focus on his kids and his career. I want to inspire people because I've been through these things. I've been through these heartaches in my life, and I wouldn't change any of it, Frank, tell you the truth. I would never change any of it. Even my childhood, I mean, I've had a few questions. People ask me, what would be one thing I'd ever take back my whole life? And I think about it, and it was my parents doing drugs. I wish that never would have happened.
Right.
But then I think about it, and I'm glad it did happen because it made me the person I am today. My mother, that's my father, gave me an opportunity to really be or have a future. My mother didn't stick around. I was very lucky at that. Today's actually my mother's birthday, so.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's we got to talk about Liam, man. It's obviously the champ that's in your way. You're fighting for a world title. Coming up here on September 19th. It's obviously Coker's putting together a huge show. I mean, it's a huge show going on. You're headlining Bellator 142. You're back on top. Obviously, the quality of competition you've had the last couple of ones. Shlemenko is he's an undersized 85-pound. You beat the crap out of him, which everybody thought was going to happen. You just wait.
Oh, stop! Everybody
Hey.
I was a 6-1 underdog. You as a wrestler, you understand, yes, but the 89% of the population who were believing in that, they thought that I was going to lose. They said I was too slow.
I mean, those are, but you can't.
I was going to get knocked out. His spinning fists are too fast for me. His spinning kicks. He's a younger guy. I was like, people, come on. Are you serious right now?
It's just he's so much smaller. There's no way. I mean, it's like you and I competing in our prime. There's no way. It's impossible. I could match you for every position until you grabbed a hold of me.
You probably do a lot better than him, to tell you the truth, because he didn't know how to wrestle at all.
No, yeah. I actually would have survived a little bit, but you would have just manhandled me. It's just stupid. Then Bonner, an out of shape Bonner, you didn't look great either. Like you kind of weren't in that full peak. That the problem is, I think a lot of us are used to you, 31, 32 years old. 7 years later, we're kind of like, he's not moving. He's getting tired a little bit sooner. Bonner didn't look great. You didn't look great. But
I wasn't. But there was the problem there. Having a detached retina.
Yeah.
My retina was completely detached. Well, at the time, it wasn't completely detached. It was partially detached. When I talked to the doctor, I kind of did it under the radar.
Yeah.
I talked to my doctor, my specialist, and I asked him, okay, what's the worst that's going to happen? He goes, well, you'll get a detached retina. I go, okay, so what's the worst going to happen? He goes, well, we just do surgery. I go, well, I mean, I'm going to be able to see again. He goes, yes, you'll be able to see. I mean, you got to do it within 24 hours and you'll see 100%. I go, okay, so that's the worst that can happen. He goes, yes. I go, okay, the hell with it. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm in. Okay.
I fought anyways. I think in the second round, he hit me with a couple good jabs.
Yep.
And I think that's what made it blackout because there was a couple times. In the third round, it was just hard. The 3 weeks before the fight, I didn't train at all. I did a little bit of mitt work, and that was it. I couldn't run because I couldn't get any pressure. And it really just came down to my heart in the third round. Jason was in the corner. He's like, dude, last round, this is it. You got to win it. This is how you're going to win it right now is you win it. So I came out guns blazing, and I was slow. I watched the fight, and I'm glad I fought like that because hopefully Liam thinks I'm fighting like that.
Yeah.
And it was slower, Tito. It was a lot slower, but at the same time, I fought with heart, man. I fought with my heart, and that was it.
So how do you see Liam then on this one? Because he's young, he's gonna come in shape. You've actually put yourself in shape, at least you said. Yes. He's gonna punch a lot more. Great jiu-jitsu guy, great from his back, great on top. If you slip on a banana peel and up on the bottom, he's still dangerous. There's not a position you can there's no spots to really rest in this one for you. You can't just lean against the cage and slow things down. Yeah.
There's no resting. There's no resting in this. I have 25 minutes. I have a minute rest in between each round to push this pace as hard as possible.
Okay.
And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to push the pace. I'm going to be in his face, and I'm taking his length away.
Okay.
He's not going to lose his length. It's going to be a scrap. It's going to be a fight. I don't know. Let's see how big he comes in. I know he's having problems keeping weight on. He's a skinnier guy.
Yeah.
I know his strength's he's not super strong. When I talked to Manuel Newton, he was like, dude, he was so weak. So it was funny because the weekend that he fought Emmanuel Newton, I shook his hand, and it felt like shaking a girl's hand.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This guy's like a chick. So I don't know. Great jiu-jitsu, awesome. Having a tough, solid wrestler on top, defending your triangles, defending your arm locks, defending your leg locks, pounding your face in. That energy gets sucked out a little bit more. Being in front of 14,000 people and over 4 million people watching on pay-per-view, it's going to change. It's going to change everything. He's going to be put under the spotlight, and he's fighting me. I'm dangerous. I'm ready to go 5 rounds. I'm ready to push the pace. I'm not taking nothing away from him. His stand-up is really good. He's pretty fast. I watch a lot of his punches where they comeback after he punches. I see little mistakes. On the ground, I see a lot of mistakes that he gives up on half guard. It's side mount. I know there's a few submissions I got to watch out for. I mean, this is the stuff that we work in camp, just watching out for these submissions, watching out for the strikes on our feet, just really imposing my will on him.
Yeah. Now, imposing your will, saying you're going to impose your will is one thing, but then really getting in there and trying to do it to somebody that hasn't lost yet. A lot of guys that haven't lost are kind of, I don't want to come off the wrong way, but they're kind of stupid. They don't realize they're in trouble because they've never been in a position where oh, wow, that causes me to lose. So they kind of push through places that they shouldn't be pushing through. They kind of fight back in a spot they're completely caught just because they don't realize that they're actually caught. Guys that haven't lost yet kind of are in that space where they kind of feel invincible. So when you're trying to impose your will, do you see him being sometimes not even realizing you're imposing your will and trying to fight back on you a little bit?
Hopefully he does, and hopefully he does make those mistakes and puts himself in bad positions. I'll put him to sleep. And, dude, I put people to sleep.
Yeah.
I showmanko people. And in camp, we've been putting over a lot of submission stuff. So if there's an opportunity that comes about, I won't be bashful to submit them. I'm not going in there trying just to hurt an opponent on a show. I want to save my body too. I've been doing it for such a long time. I would love to save my body, get it over quick. But I'm ready for 5-minute rounds. I'm ready to go to war. I'm ready to go out and I don't know. For the first time in a good 8 years that I've actually have the nervous twitch.
Good.
I get that nervous feeling. And it's a good nervous feeling. It was like last night before I left, or today before I left. Last night when I went to bed, I took a shower and I was packing my bag, and I look at Amber and I go, "Babe, I'm nervous. I'm really nervous." She's like, "It's good. You're ready." I go,
yeah.
"That's what it is. I'm not nervous because I'm not doubting anything because I did all the work. I'm nervous because I want to get it over with. It's anxiety of just going, let's get this shit over with, man. I've done all the work, all the hard work on Saturday when I got done with my stadiums. I was so happy and so glad that everything was over because I had the longest 12-week camp that I think I've ever had in my whole career because I pushed myself so hard. This goes back to, when I fought Randy Couture, getting ready for that fight. He out-wrestled me, which is understandable. But I was in that that type of shape where I'm ready to go to war, man. I'm good. My mind's right. I'm focused. I'm confident. I know I'm dangerous on top. I know I get away from submissions. I know what I need to do to close the gap. I know what I need to do to punch him in the face. So I don't know. All the pressure's on him. He's supposed to win. Everything's on him. I'm supposed to lose. And I'm here to prove all the people who have my back that, you're going to have my back for a reason. I'm going to stand as a champion at the end.
Has the media schedule been overtaxing on this one? Because it's such a big show. Coker's putting out kind of all the stops on this one.
Nothing I'm not used to, man. I'm used to doing the grind. I love it. Guys at Bellator here, they love me. They're like, man, you're a workhorse. I went all the way from doing my own guerrilla marketing and going out and putting posters every store downtown Huntington Beach. I went and I did it myself on Sunday. This weeks before that, I did it also just around the outer skirts of Huntington Beach. It makes that much more difference. I think that's why it makes me nervous because I want people to see how hard I trained. I want people to see how I perform because I don't want people not to watch it and how hard I worked to get to this point. I really I'm focused, man. You got to do the guerrilla work. You got to do that extra line, and Bellator love that I do that.
All right, I'm gonna change gears on you. Last question before I let you out of here. Did you see the Nick Diaz result from the Nevada State Athletic Commission?
All right, man. I don't support anything that anybody does drugs prior to a fight. I think it's wrong. Nick Diaz has a license for marijuana. Here in California, it is legal if you have a license. He's a fighter. His body's been through hell. He does stuff to take away his pain. Fine. He doesn't over-abuse it. The guy, I've always known him as being a good dude.
Yeah.
To get 5 years for that is just for testing positive for marijuana, which stays in your system for over 30 days. Maybe he did it 2 months prior, a month prior. But still, to get for 5 years, are you serious? It just shows how much Dana hates Nick Diaz.
I'm confused. My confusion comes from where they said, look, here's the new drug interactions. First time, second time, third time offense. There's every category of drug has a different fine, between 25% all the way up to 75%, depending on how many times you've done it of your purse, as well as years that go on it. Well, from what I understand, they voted it in. They just haven't said exactly when they're going to start using it. But for marijuana, third-time offense, which this is Nick's third offense, it's supposed to be 36 months and up to 75% of his purse. 36 months is 3 years. It's not 5 years. So they automatically come at him with 5 years. I'm like, well, you guys already voted this in. You haven't said, hey, this is when we're going to start it. But you're giving him 5 years, even though you guys said that you're going to give everybody else 3 years. Then add in the fact, I don't judge anybody whether they have failed or passed, or I don't care one way or the other. Because, coming from wrestling, everybody in Russia and Germany was using drugs the entire time we competed. It was just what it was. So for Silva to get caught and then get a year suspension for PEDs,
on the same fight
tonight, he gets 5 years for this third failure for marijuana. I'm like, there's a
little bit of favoritism there, dude. Favoritism.
Yeah.
Favoritism. It's sad. And look at John Jones. He gets caught for cocaine, and he runs over a chick. Crash with a girl.
Well, you got to admit though, the UFC did the right thing on that. They cut him. They immediately cut him. They stripped him of his title. They who knows what John is doing now. But once he hit that girl and got caught with the drug paraphernalia and the money, UFC's like, look, we got to cut ties. That was the end of that one. But him getting caught before the fight with cocaine, even though it's not, out of competition, it's okay to use cocaine. You're like, well, that makes no sense. Like, that's crazy. But it's okay. We're still gonna let him go. I don't know. I have a mixed feeling on this. Because I'm black or white. There's no gray for me. I'm like, and the problem is that no one really gets. I'm not on the commission. I'm not setting the rules. When I ref, I just have to enforce the rules inside the cage, not whether a guy, uses PEDs or not. It has nothing to do with me. I just have an opinion on it. And my opinion is this doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. It just shows favoritism in it. Diaz has spoke his mind, as I have through my career, and that's why I've had a shadow over me, just because I've spoke my mind and I've said the truth, and people don't like to hear the truth sometimes. And Diaz may have done the same thing too. We kill ourselves in the cage, and when these people make so much money upon it, and we feel a right for our deserve of what we think we're deserved, we're talked down, talked bad upon, paint a bad picture on us. And sometimes the fans believe it. And like I said, for Diaz to get popped for this, and like I said, I'm not condoning everything's right of him smoking marijuana, or it's wrong. But to give him 5 years and take away $140,000.
Yeah, it's like $138,000. Yeah, that's
a lot of money. That's a lot of money. Holy shit! I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and Silva got fined for his year. I want to, and forgive me.
It was 75. It was $25,000.
No, he got like a 300. He got like a weird fine. Like it was like a strange, like a $300 and something fine on his year. It's like
$300 fine.
Like a $300,000 fine, not $300.
$300,000
fine. It's something weird. It was like a weird number. That's why I don't have it memorized.
Well, it's probably because of the down money that he gets paid underneath. I mean,
yeah, it's a percentage of your purse. So it's like total purse is X amount of money. They're going to take whatever, whatever. I think on him they took like 50% or something silly.
Oh, wow. But still, I mean, at the same time, this shouldn't be allowed, even any type of drug use. Maybe people start paying attention. I mean, like I said, Diaz, I know he has a license, and but it's not an enhancing drug. Marijuana is not an enhancing drug for competition. I don't care what you say, it is not, and I'm not like condoning it. I'm saying it's wrong, but for 5 years, how's this guy going to make money, man? It's ridiculous. I feel bad for him.
And he can't coach. Like they forbid him. Like you can't even coach. His brother's fighting in like 2 weeks or something. He's like, I can't even be in my brother's corner. Like they've completely taken everything away, like all the way out of it. Which is what the punishment's supposed to do. It's supposed to curb it. I'm for one of those guys. Like, look, first offense, you have one appeal, and if you get, then just be banned, lifetime ban. First offense. If that's where we want to go, then we go first offense. You get one appeal on that first offense. If it's upheld, then you just lifetime ban. You're out. And if that's really what everybody wants, if they want to get serious about it, that's what you need to do. Just like go all the way. Just like it's extreme. This is what it is. But
well, I mean, if you truly think about it, and this is kind of funny because me and Jason Perillo were talking about this one so the guy gets popped for steroids and he has a year, gets suspended for a year. Well, most of the top guys will only fight once a year anyways. Like, cool, I got popped. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll wait for the next year. And it's crazy that they even put that. I mean, if guys get popped for steroids, they should just boom, ban them completely.
Yeah. But like I said, man, it's just my opinion. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not an attorney. I don't have any understanding of it. I'm just a former athlete sitting on a couch. That's all I have.
I'm an athlete, and I'm just looking at it as a spectator, and it just looks wrong. And in my opinion, how's Nick Diaz going to pay his bills, man? I I know. I see a lot of people saying free Nick Diaz. Free Nick Diaz is right.
Yeah.
But once again, as I say, man, I'm not condoning anything's right. It's not right. Not right. No. But 5 years, that's just that's some favoritism that's being played there, and I take my hat off saying that's just sad, man. I don't know.
All right, Tito. Thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad you're happy. Glad camp went well. This is going to be.
No, it'll be better when I get this world title around my waist, man. It's just kind of get the nervous twitch in and shit. I'm like, God, I want to get this over with.
Do you have any space left on your mantle for another belt? Like, do you have space?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I cleared a little space. I had to make another shelf, actually. So.
Good for you. Awesome. Have fun, man. We'll talk after the fight's over, and we'll rehash and see how things went.
Awesome. Right on. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it, man.
You got it, brother. Talk to you soon.
Cool. All my fans, thank you. Make sure you tune in this Saturday. Watch me beat down Liam. It's going to be a great fight. The guy's the champ, but you want to be the champ, you got to take it from the champ.
There you have it. Tito Ortiz fighting this weekend. Liam McGeary, Bellator 142. Talk to you later, Tito.
Free on Spike. Don't miss it.